Sophia! Guy, akisi nimewa miss sana. For real. I have honestly missed all of you. All of you, the haters, the lovers, kila mtu, nimewa miss sana. Yeah, so we're at that stage right now. That stage where I don't even bother wearing a bra to come record a video. I've just had a very long day with Amref. For those who don't know or those who don't follow my personal Instagram, I'm part of the 4 innovators from Kenya and Ethiopia who were selected a few months ago for this. It's called Innovate for Life. So we're doing the second phase of it, and now everything is being done online. Today was a terrible day because my presentation sucked. I was really not ready for it. Though they said it was good, I just felt like I could have done better. But anyway, on to today's video. So I want to talk about prostitutes. Yeah, you heard me right. Ashawo, whores, prostitutes, of which there are different levels, but I'm just talking about that basic prostitute who's just on Koinange Street. Those are my girls. Those are the ones I want to talk to, or I want to talk about today. So a little background. Sometime last year, I went to my mom's house, and where she lives, there's like a slum, a village nearby. So it was that time where tomatoes were like, they were scarce. As it was napatikana, they were so expensive. So I figured if I go to that slum area, I'd probably get them for cheap. Of which I did, by the way. They were really cheap at that place at that time. So when I went there, I sat there. I was with my sister. So my sister is the one who knows like where to get the best deals, basically. So I was just seated, and she was like negotiating and getting me the best tomatoes and stuff. And I remember I saw this woman. There were like 2 hawkers standing right across from where I was seated. There were 2 hawkers, a man and a woman. The man was, I think, selling avocados or something, but the woman was selling dawayamende, you know, like medicine or rat poison, like things like rat poison and cockroach poison and things like that. And to be honest, I started looking at her, and I think I was there for about 10 minutes or something. And she was just standing there selling this stuff, and literally no one was even looking her direction. And I kept thinking about her. I was like literally no one is buying. How are you making money? Like, how are you making money? No one is buying, because everyone is just buying food stuff. Everyone is buying avocados, meat, tomatoes, fish, whatever, but no one is really buying dawayamende at that point, you know. And I put myself in her shoes, and I was like, if I was to leave, because it was around 8 o'clock, so I'm like, maybe she'll close work at 9, I don't know, before she goes home. So if she goes home with nothing, like you've made nothing, absolutely nothing, and even if she was to make something, like she sells the things for CG 50 bob, you know, even if she was to sell 1 or 2, she'd max make 200 bob for that day, you know. And imagine, and I was imagining her, I don't know her story, but I was imagining her as a mom who probably has a child at home, and that child hasn't eaten in like a few days, and now she's just standing here selling this stuff that no one is buying. And I'm like, if I was to be going back home, and some random guy just comes to me and says, Ebi, here's 500 bob to have sex with you for like 5 minutes. I was like, would I really say no to that? If I'm to be like genuinely honest with myself. I know I haven't eaten in days, I have a child at home, I haven't made any money, and this is a guy who wants 5 minutes with me and he'll give me 500. Chances are, I would say, actually not chances, thing is, I would say yes. I would definitely say yes. Like, I put myself in her shoes and I was like, it's not like she's not trying. You can see she's trying. She's gotten herself a job. It's not the best job, but she is doing something to try and get some money. But it's really not selling. Really, if I was really in that situation and someone comes and says, I want to have sex with you for even 200, you know, chances are I'd do it. I'd really do it. And I think from that day on, my perspective on sex workers, as they prefer to be called, my perception on them really changed. I'm like, you know what, you don't know someone's story. Plus, with society right now, like, if you watch my previous video, I already said, fuck society, man. I don't really give a shit about them. Because at the end of the day, even if I judge you for being a prostitute, will I pay your rent? Will I buy you food? Will I pay for your kids? No, I'll just sit there, judge you, and walk away. So at the end of the day, it's up to you to really think, is this what I really want? Is this my last option, you know? And I know people will come here and say, I'm justifying prostitution. No, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, you have a choice, which is a segue to actually something else that I want to talk about. I saw this post on Edgar Barry's IG, and they're talking about this guy. Shit, I forgot his name. I've forgotten his name, but he had a live. Apparently, he usually gives money to the Club COVID guys. So he's like a sponsor, and he had his own live where he brought in a girl, and apparently he wasn't happy with his titties or something like that. And guys were like, he was degrading this woman, and I think XTN also like did a fundraiser and like gave her money and everything, which is great. The part that I do not support for women, because you know I'm all about women. I mean, my whole business is built on women, but I will not support something from women that I disagree with. So guys were like, this man was degrading this woman, and he was doing this and he was doing that. But just take a minute, get your emotions out of it, and think about it. One, this girl had an option. One, not even to join the live in the first place. Two, when things were going south, she had the option of just logging out. You know, she was not held hostage, basically. As much as she was saying she was having money issues and everything, we all have money issues. So I think at some point as women, we want to blame things or want to blame men where really they're not to be blamed. To put this into perspective, this woman is like walking into a lion's den, basically. She was walking into a lion's den. What did you think was gonna happen? Of course, they're gonna degrade you. Like it's like walking into a brothel and not expecting to hear demeaning, bad words spoken at you. That will happen. You're in a brothel. The only difference is now this brothel is online. So my memory decided to get full, but we continue. Anyways, as I was saying, before I lose my train of thought, it's like walking into a brothel. Yeah, that's where I was. It's like walking into a brothel. What did you think was gonna happen when you walk in? No one is going to respect you. The only difference now with COVID-19, people are moving everything online, and our brothels are now also online. I mean, the other day I saw, who was this? This Lido's, this strip club. They're also doing like live shows, and people are paying and whatever. So the vile things that usually happen in real life or offline is what is being taken online. So the people who are acting like, oh, but it was so degrading and whatever, how come when XTN was doing it, it wasn't degrading? You know, apples and oranges. I mean, XTN was telling women to pour Harpic on their butts, and they actually did. And I was like, oh my God, that poor vagina. Like Harpic, literally, toilet cleaner, you're pouring it on yourself. But that was not degrading. But the moment this guy is like, ooh, show me some titties, it's like, oh, okay, now this is degrading, this is dehumanizing. And I'm like, women, come on, apples and oranges, you know, like, there's nothing different. Literally, there's nothing different with what XTN was doing and what this guy is doing. So as a woman, it's up to you to decide, because at the end of the day, you have a choice to prostitute or not to prostitute. I cannot say that you literally do not have a choice, because you have two choices. One is you either go ahead and do this, or two, you don't. And you choose the consequences for that. So if you choose to be this vixen or prostitute or whatever you choose to call these women, if you choose to be that and make your money, good for you, man. I'm not judging. Like I said, I'm all for you, good for you. But then the other choice is you choose not to do this and probably starve. I don't know what the other choice is for you. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is you have a choice. You can never say there was no choice. The choice is for you to walk out, you know, or the choice is for you to stay and stay with the consequences. And again, on this topic of prostitutes, like I said in the beginning, there's so many different levels. Guys are like, oh, this is so dehumanizing and whatever. Do you think those Instagram models who are always in Dubai, what do you think they go there to do? Come on, let's be real. What do you think they go there to do? I'm telling you, I've heard stories and real stories of people that I actually know who the guy literally shits in your mouth. Shits in your mouth. But at the end of the day, you come back home $2,000, $3,000 richer, none the wiser, you know. But this girl had the option of not taking that money, of not flying to Dubai and doing something else. So at the end of the day, you have a choice, okay? You have a choice. But let's not, because these men who are paying for these services, these are things that they would never ask their wives, they never ask their girlfriends or someone that they truly love. They would never ask their sisters. But why are they asking these things of you? Because they know you would stoop that low, okay? So let's not blame this man for doing this, because at the end of the day there was no gun to your head, and especially if it's online, you really cannot blame the man. It's willing, like Uhuru said, willing buyer, willing seller. This woman literally had the option of logging out and be like, you know what, this is bullshit, I won't stand for this, and just log out, but she chose not to. So at the end of the day, again, you all know I am so pro women, but if I see women doing the wrong thing and then acting the victim or playing the victim, I will not stand for it. I'm sorry. I'm one of you, but when something is wrong or when you're trying to play the victim, I hate it when people play victim. Stop playing a victim. You had a choice. You chose to be a prostitute. You chose to be on that live. At the end of the day, I am not judging you for being a prostitute, a prostitute. Oh my God, this wine. I'm not judging you for being a prostitute, but don't come back and start playing victim, because no one pushed you into that. There's prostitution where girls are literally slaves. That's a different case. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is women who willingly go into it for whatever reason, whether it's poverty or boredom, whatever reason, fame, doesn't matter. You go into it, you have a choice. You have a choice of not doing it. And if you choose to do it, I won't judge you, okay? Personally, as Abby, I will not judge them. Like, let her do her, because I don't pay her rent, I don't feed her children, so let her do her. The issue that I have is when you come back, you circle back, and then you play victim. You're like, oh, this guy was so degrading, he was asking me to show my boobies, he was saying he'll shit on my face. Yes, that's the price. That's why you're getting $3,000, man. That is why you're getting $3,000. The people who work 9 to 5, 30 days a month, and they make less than that. They go home with like 100 G's, you know, like 100,000 if it's, and that's like really on the higher side. The people who work like every single day and don't even make 10,000 shillings. They don't even make 10,000 shillings. So you have a choice. That's what I'm saying at the end of the day. Don't play victim, mama. I'm saying this with all the love that I have. Don't play victim. I will not blame you for being a prostitute, but do not play victim, because you're not a victim. And especially when it comes to this online thing, you chose to log in. You chose to do this, you know. Don't come back and start playing victim. Anyway, time for me to go. And for real, I really, really missed you. And I hope I'll be here again this month. I'm hoping this month I'll be making like more and more videos. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next week. Also, I would really love to know your opinion, you know. Like, you know, here we give our honest opinions, as long as it's not insulting. You're not insulting me, you're not insulting any of my subscribers. That is all good. When you start getting insulting and you're not really giving a point, then that's when you get blocked. That's when that happens. Anyways, I will see you soon, and thank you for hanging out, and mwah, bye.